I'm Olena. I'm a yoga teacher, Kundalini yoga teacher, and I just finished my fourth Vipassana this year, 10 days each one. And I guess I'm qualified to tell you about it, my experience before and after, because first three Vipassanas I was not getting it at all. That's why when you go on YouTube and you see all those reviews from people who did it for the first time and telling you to do it or not to do it, it's really not enough experience. But if you don't want to watch this whole video, I will tell you all the positive things about Vipassana as a practitioner, as a teacher, as someone who likes material things and lives in the world and has to be effective and centered and focused, and someone who enjoys being happy, joyous, and positive and inspirational and inspired. So if you want to be like this, go into Vipassana, don't listen to this video. But if you have time and you're curious, I want to give you my feedback after, I think I finished the last one 10 days ago. I did it in, it doesn't matter where I did it in US. The mind always wants to attach to facts, but facts don't really matter. What matters is how it changed my life. Not even changed my life, but changed my habits. Habits are those like things, like very, very sticky things that's so hard to change. And you know it when you try to brush your teeth with left hand. You forget because there is no awareness that you have to do it every day, and there is no, and habit is there to do the teeth brushing with right hand. So with everything else, when we say that our life is in the loop, things are like the same, we meet the same people, we jump in the same toxic relationships, or we are struggling with the same problem like money or parents or our kids, it means that we didn't change our habits. And we do not see it because how often do we sit down and look into our mind and look at our life, not from zoomed in option, but zoomed out from bigger picture. And this is what Vipassana allows you to do. So few mistakes that I did in Vipassanas before is I would come to solve my life problems. So it was beautiful because you have 10 hours a day, you're being fed over there two and a half times a day, you're being taken care of, you have nice sleep, everybody like is protecting you. So of course you're like, yeah, let's solve my life problems, because you get insights. And I would even like try to journal and this is all attached mind is trying to hold on to things, and there is nothing wrong, it's just the path. But I can see it now after having some experience in it. So first, come with open minds, let go any fears, any expectations, even this story, just forget it, and observe what reactions you get through Vipassana, because all those reactions are there in life as well. I saw a lot of people complaining or bugging managers all the time, or trying for softer cushion, or putting all the cushions around them, or going asking teacher many questions, or opposite, being shy. And this is all just life pattern that we have in regular life. So it just gives you, if you're observant, to see this. Because why do you need to see this? Because all of those necessary actions and necessary thoughts are taking your energy away. If you wake up in the morning and you cannot wake up without coffee, and you cannot say, I live a happy life without any substances like alcohol, drugs, people, partners, success, job, then something is taking your energy. Vipassana is showing you that. Because for me, the last one, first, usually it's like they say 3 to 5 days. For me, it was 7 first days were trouble, were hard, were disturbing. And I would go to teacher, and teacher would not help me. He would say, just keep the practice going. And this was the most beautiful advice most beautiful advice, because I got to experience it and figure it out myself, transform it, let go of those negative thoughts, those haunting thoughts, because I was just interacting with haunting thoughts until I realized what is equanimity, what they're teaching you. When thoughts are coming, you're still observing the breath, you're still observing the sensations in the body, and then even though those thoughts are being like alarming in the beginning, you're like, I need to solve it right now, or I need to like if bad thought is coming, you start to like create a story, like how to make it, even how to fight it. So you're trying to avoid it. Or if good story comes, you're like, oh yes, this creativity, I need to grasp, I need to keep it to me. Then you're like, yes, I want it, you're not letting it go. But what Vipassana is teaching you is actually letting go. Like, this is my 5th time I'm recording this video, and because I had to pay for the app, I had to pay for storage, then the storage was not enough, so like things keep happening. But in the past, I would say, you know what, I don't want to do it, I'm doing it for free, and I already spent 2 hours of my Sunday time, and I'm like, maybe nobody needs to hear it. But then when I remember about meditation, that all things, first of all, are temporary, nothing is permanent. So I'm giving it a chance again. Maybe it's gonna work now, maybe not, I don't know. But I have good volition, I have good intention, because I want to spread all of my positive experience, everything that helped me to become more happy, more clear person. I want to give it to you. Because we are so overflown with information these days. This is good, this is not good, this is right, this is not right, this is for God, this is against God, this is, meat is good for you, meat is not, so much. And we don't know what's the truth, because it's their truth. And Vipassana gives you an option to know what is true to you, what food is the best for you. And then you can actually become more intuitive and help others. For instance, I will speak about material facts, how Vipassana changed my... First of all, I'm not a coffee addict anymore. Second of all, I'm not food addict anymore. I really cannot eat after 6 o'clock because there is meditation after 6 before I go to bed, and I cannot meditate on heavy stomach. But food addiction, coffee addiction, and relationship addiction, toxic relationships, painful relationships, friendships that do not serve me were my addictions in life. I'm 37, and what can I say? It is what it is, and I know I'm not the only one. And probably because I'm woman, I'm talking more to women community than to men. Maybe men would not understand me, I don't know. And plus, as women, we're more complicated than men, so probably men are not experiencing those problems as we do. But no separation, again, we're all humans and we all experiencing our challenges. So when I was scared to come back home, because when you meditate and you're so like taken care of over there, I wanted to stay there. I'm like, I just want to keep going. Should I become a monk? I was scared to come home and face realities, because I had to face real estate test, state test, and I failed it before the exam, before the Vipassana. But it didn't bother me at all. I was just able to see it. So the less you react to any thoughts, doesn't matter, we don't paint them positive or negative, it just is. The less you react and interact with them, the sooner or later they will fade away, and then they come, you just don't even notice them, because you're observing your breath, you're observing your body, or in different techniques. Once I did different technique in Russia, we were observing our belly. So it doesn't matter, but you become with things that are real. Like your breath is real, happening right now. Your body is real, body sensations are real, happening right now. But those thoughts are just fantasy worlds. You don't interact with them. So what it gave me very strong focus. I was able to study for a week without distractions and pass the exam. I was able to exit a very painful relationship that was not only not serving me and that person, but also was hurting other people. And I saw how Vipassana teaches you moral ethics, and I saw how it was immoral. And I really stepped back, and Vipassana is teaching you to harm no one, absolutely no one. So of course, no harming other people, no animals harming, no harming yourself too. Because when you harm other people, when you have those destructive negative thoughts in your mind, first of all, you're harming yourself. And when you think you're cool and you're harming others, even with actions, because we have this like good faith in us, we have good spirit, we will still feel guilty sooner or later. So it's very good to be aware and conscious about not harming anybody and not harming yourself, because everything absolutely will just like boomerang come back. And now I see like my life becomes like a meditation. I meditate only in the morning and the evening, but because the mind is cleansing, honestly, I cleansed a lot of my friendships. I could see, before I was just like a blind cat. I could not see their unkind thoughts and their unkind attitudes. I was just like, maybe they have a bad day. But I removed at least 10 people who were very dear to my heart, were my friends, I felt like soulmates, but I had to let it go. And I don't feel like, honestly, no regret. Like before you can say like from this like no regrets, I don't care. No, not this attitude. This attitude is, it doesn't serve my highest good. It doesn't make me happy. It doesn't make them happy. So I have to step out. And it's really thinking about highest good for two of you. So in relationship, it's always two. So if one person is suffering, another person is suffering too, but maybe they just get used to suffering in relationships overall. So they can step out. They rather be mean and grumpy to you and think this is normal, but somebody has to stop this. And meditative mind gives you access to that, which is beautiful, because I was codependent, I think, or addictive to people, especially as an immigrant, especially as a woman too, because we women, we like to be, have this comfort zone, friends, relatives, family, especially as you get older, you start valuing relationships more. But now I value relationships that serve my joy, that serves my inspiration, where we can have long conversations and don't get tired, where we actually generate energy and we generate new projects for the highest good of all people. What else? I guess I stopped harming myself with destructive behavior like food addictions, beverage addictions, no alcohol at all. And by removing, I wouldn't say removing, but stepping away from people who are not in their best for me right now, I started attracting magically, I say magically, miracle. There is a miracle. People just show up out of nowhere, and they're like somewhere where I want to be. They're like here. I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much for reaching out. I don't know where you're coming from, but this is amazing. So miracles happen, and you also become more aligned to what are your goals. Like for instance, now my goal is to not only work in real estate and make money, but provide long-lasting homes for couples and families who want to build a legacy, who want to build like life estate for future generations. So it means that the house becomes a cozy place for many generations, and I want to at least influence a peace in this house, a harmony between those people, and maybe help them to organize things around in a holistic way, maybe some decorations. I don't see being real estate agent as one-time deal. I see it more as, because I'm also doing life coaching with the Lila game, so I'm seeing it more as like building big family where I can be a contribution to all those members, and maybe creating, I don't know, it just comes up right now, clarity, maybe creating community between those people, maybe connecting them, uniting them, I don't know. But I see a call, I feel a call in this, and I felt this call for the last 2 years since I moved to Miami from New York, but I was scared to do it. I worked in New York, I had negative experience in real estate, I was stressed out, and I didn't want to give it a chance again. But now I do. I'm fearless now. I'm fearless because I don't feel, even though Vipassana is not involving a prayer, I still do my prayer, and I feel the highest, I don't want to trigger anyone, God, highest power, energy, force, Holy Spirit, my spirit's stronger. And Vipassana is teaching you that all things are temporary, and they are. This body is temporary. All material things are temporary. So is people. You can be attached to, I don't want to talk about negative examples, but only your faith, your breath, God is something you can rely on, honestly. Because your kids, again, I don't want to say negative. Negative thinking, negative talking, negative actions are not producing good karma. So I'm trying to be aware here. What else? I think this is good for the first edition about Vipassana. If you have questions, ask me more, but I'll record the second video. Also, because before I would record a video and I think like, oh, how many people will watch? I really like, because ego, maybe on day 7 or 8, the ego, like I was able to see my ego in front of me, and not in meditation, just by walking in the forest. And I was able to see how I live my life with ego and how is life without ego. And life, I didn't write it down, so this time was absolutely free. I followed instructions full on, and without ego is really no attachment, is really, for me, is really living life, sharing with others, being attentive to others' needs, even if sometimes they don't know that they have this need, being more loving, being more, not really caring about how I look right now, but even though I love everything beautiful, so I care how I look, but start caring less about likes and popularity on social media, and don't really care much, but caring more about message, because I really don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I have no idea. Maybe I'm gonna make 5,000 more videos, or maybe I will never make a video again in my life. So only because I saw a lot of bad videos, I want to give you inspiration. And I feel a little sad right now because I feel that I didn't tell you enough. Hence, one of my goals, how I can combine Vipassana and mindfulness and real estate, is maybe buying land with a few other practitioners and opening our own retreat. Again, not own, but our communal retreat. I also like body fasts. I like things that clear the body and the mind, because if you eat, the food influences your mind and your thinking, so the food is extremely important. So anything actual food that we eat is secondary food, and primary food is information, and information we receive through our ears, through our eyes. And very often, like in the evening, especially when I sit in meditation, it's so hard because I see all those images of like Instagram posts or real estate or friends' messages. They're there and they're being cleansed, and it's so not easy. Like 1 hour is not enough to cleanse it. And then and sounds, noise, conversations, they also like pop up in the mind. I'm like, I don't need this. So I'm trying to become more mindful and talk less and conserve my energy. And I will stop. I will give up my idea of being perfect, and this will be the end of this video. Hope you enjoy it. I wouldn't say I love you guys, because I would mean it, but I would say I have compassion for you guys. I know, because I've been through life challenges. Life is really not easy, and it's not easy not only because I work with people. It's not only not easy if you think you don't have money or a job that you love. I met people who have money, but they were still not happy. So I know that we're all suffering here, if you admit it or not. And my goal is to continue teaching yoga, to raise the human spirit, human joy, human beauty, to see the beauty in yourself, not guilting yourself, not comparing yourself to anyone, but really, really, really feeling how special you are. And you don't need those external distractions like ayahuascas, alcohol, drugs. Really just drains your energy, drains your soul, and drains your belief in yourself. You think you're dependent on this now and you can't live, but I must tell you, you can live without all of this just by meditating, creating the environment of people who support you, and loving those who gave you life, like your parents, loving those who you gave life to, like your kids, not getting triggered, and remembering that you're good no matter what, even though if somebody says you're not, because your highest self came with a very good purpose. I know that for sure. Bye bye.